This is NFL Pick'em Week 2, and let's do this week a little bit different because last week picks were rushed. I don't want it to be rushed.
Drew won last week.
Let's give some concise explanations as to why. You know, we have people that might make bets on these picks, so let's actually explain our stuff.
Listen, I tried to. Apparently, I talk too much, so I'm gonna let you guys do your thing.
Well, in that segment, you didn't talk at all. Yeah.
Which one?
The Pick'em.
What do you mean?
Last week.
No, what we did was just say names.
Oh, I gave my little blurb like I usually do.
I had a ticket and the Colts blew it.
First game.
Underdog ticket.
Just put money on the Broncos because
First game, Giants versus Washington, Thursday Night Football. Both are 0-1. Who wins their first game?
I'll go while he thinks. I'm going to go Washington. I just think that from what I saw against the Chargers, their defense was lockup. Giants' offense is not it at all. I think Washington does enough.
I think Washington composed the same problems that Denver posed against the Giants. So, with that being said, I think I'm going to go Washington.
The only reason why I'm hesitant to pick Washington is because Taylor Heineke's a wild card.
Agreed.
I don't believe in him as a quarterback. I don't at all.
No.
I saw too many inaccuracies versus the Chargers. I think the Giants have a very good defense. But this is a division game, and these are always tough to pick. They both need a win, but because that offensive line is so bad, I mean, there was a picture of them blocking each other,
bro. That's crazy.
I'm picking Washington to win this game, and they will become 1-1.
Is that Marlon Humphreys?
It is Marlon Humphrey.
That is a fire pick right there.
And now next game, Raiders versus Steelers. Raiders coming off that big win against the Ravens, and the Steelers winning against the Bills. Who wins this matchup? It's at Pittsburgh.
I'm going to go with Pittsburgh. I like their defense. I like that Big Ben is still a solid guy, and they have their 3 wide receiver tandem. So I'm going to go Pittsburgh.
I'm going Steelers, too. From watching the game last night, Ravens had a lot of opportunities to win the game, and Lamar just couldn't see some opportunities that he was given by the Raiders defense. I think Ben gets the job done. I think they win.
I originally had the Raiders winning this game because I just feel like they have momentum right now. Derek Carr's rolling. That offensive line is iffy. But Denzel Good is out. They're starting right guard for the Raiders. And I just think that Steelers pass rush is just going to be too much. And Derek Carr, he led a comeback. But in the first half, in the first 3 quarters, he wasn't that good.
Agreed.
In that fourth quarter, he really came alive and led them back. Because of that, I'm going with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they'll advance to 2-0. Next game, 49ers versus Philadelphia Eagles. Who wins that game?
We looked really good, but, you know, this is still a dangerous team. Regardless of them losing Jason Verrett, they still got that defensive line, and they still got a strong secondary. You know, they still got both of their safeties. I'm blanking. It's Ward and Tart, I believe, who are both their safety guys. Mm-hmm. And they still got Kwan Williams, who's not bad. I'm going to go with the Niners. I think the Niners get this W.
I think the Eagles win this game. I think being at home, seeing what they did to the Falcons, absolutely killed them on both sides of the ball. Matt Ryan had no time to throw the ball. Obviously, Niners have a solid offensive line, but I do believe the Eagles' offense will be good enough to overcome the Niners. After seeing what the Lions did to the Niners and the Eagles having confidence already, given the fact that they whooped the Falcons, I think the Eagles keep it rolling.
I picked the Eagles in week 1. They're my sleeper team in the NFL, but they won't beat San Francisco. San Francisco is just a different demon. They are legit. They are goblins. They're not goons. Defensive line is unstoppable. Nick Bosa, even though he got stopped by Penei Sewell a little bit, they are great. The offense is great. And this is going to be Philadelphia's toughest test in a while. I think 49ers win this game. Their offense is going to be clicking. Jimmy G.
Do you think their offense is great?
I do think their offense is great. As long as Kyle Shanahan's there, their offense is going to be great.
Fair enough.
You know, and Jimmy G, I said before the season started that he's going to have a breakout season. Or not a breakout season, but he's going to have a great season.
Did you say that?
I did say that.
I thought you were down on Jimmy G.
No, I was not down on Jimmy
G. No, I'm just trying to remember. I don't remember you saying that. You must have said that like off cam.
No, I said it before. I said it on cam. Yes, I did. I said it on cam.
Say word.
Because I literally made a video about how I wanted Jimmy G to go to Denver. Because I think he would have been good there.
I would have been more than willing to have it.
But I think Jimmy G's going to have a great season this year. Probably his last one in San Fran, but this year he's going to have a great season if he doesn't get injured. If he's healthy the entire year, you're going to see a lot of performances from like what he did versus Detroit, having those 300-yard games, multiple touchdowns. They're going to be Philadelphia. I think San Fran wins this game. Then on to the next team, Texans versus Browns. Man, you guys are going to have me go on the receipts. I'm going to dig in them receipts.
For what? Oh, the Jimmy G?
Yeah.
I just remember us talking about a QB, me saying Jimmy G was good because he's a winner, and then you saying something like along the lines like it doesn't really matter.
Because I said two is Jimmy G.
And then
no, I think Jimmy G's a good quarterback, but I think he's average good. You know, he's not a great elite quarterback.
Okay.
You know, that's what I'm saying. I think Jimmy G's fine.
That's what I'm. I think
he's like in the Teddy B tier, a little bit maybe above Teddy B.
I agree.
But they're the same tier. You know, he's a good quarterback, but is he a franchise guy? Nah. And I just said two is like
he did go to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but that team was stacked.
They were stacked, but he helped get them there without a doubt.
He had some big games that year. That game against the Saints was crazy.
Oh yeah, he did. I think he's a good quarterback. He's a very good quarterback.
Browns. I don't need to discuss that further.
I think Browns have something to prove here after losing to the Chiefs. They're at home. I don't see how they
proved
lose.
nothing by beating the Texans.
Texans versus Browns.
It's a statement like they should beat them swimmingly.
Yeah.
Texans versus Browns. Yeah, I think the Browns are going to win this game as well. Texans had that great win against Jacksonville, but I think just like Jacksonville, last year they beat the Colts week 1, right? And they lost every single game after that.
Facts.
You know, Texans, they won week 1, but let's pump the brakes. I don't think they're going to be that good. So Broncos versus Jaguars, who wins this game?
Oh, I got the Broncos. You know, I picked them last week to beat the Giants. I'm gonna stay
2-0, Teddy B.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay with Denver. They're the dominant team. That defense is gonna wreak havoc for T. Lawrence.
Easy win. Broncos are gonna handle this one like
this is another easy pick. You know, Broncos are gonna win this game. The Jaguars got embarrassed by the Texans, and they're not even a good team. So the Broncos are gonna embarrass the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence is gonna have a rough game. Another one. Saints versus Panthers. Now, this is interesting. Jameis Winston versus Sam Darnold. Both quarterbacks looking to revive their careers with new respective teams, even though one of them is actually a legit guy. So, Saints versus Panthers, who wins that game? It's at Carolina.
I seen the Saints dominate Green Bay. I seen Carolina beat the Jets. I trust the Saints O-line. I trust the Saints D-line. And I'm feeling good about Winston, so I'm going to go with the Saints in this one.
I'm not going to be fooled like last week. Against the Panthers. Panthers played relatively well against the Jets, kind of cruising that second half, made it a closer game than what it actually was. But I think the Saints do win this game, even though it is at Carolina. I think the Saints, just both sides of the ball right now, are a better team. They showed it against Green Bay, who I was very high on going into the season, that they could still dominate a top end in the league, a top team in the league, and I think they come out with the W.
This game is going to be close.
It is.
And I think it's because Carolina's defense is underrated. They're going to be one of the better young defenses in the NFL. They have a bunch of speed on that defensive line at that secondary with Dante Jackson, who has rockets up his ass, and you have J.C. Horn, who I think can be a really great corner in this league. But the Saints have Sean Payne, they have Jameis, they have that defense, they have that offensive line. I think they pull out this win and advance to 2-0. Next game, Rams versus Colts. Matthew Stafford, he was a guy the Colts wanted to trade for, but they settled with Carson Wentz. So Rams versus Colts, who wins this game?
You know, I'm a Wentz homer. I thought he played really good, though, last week. First game back. He didn't have much of a preseason or a training camp. The Rams are tough, man. This is a tough game, but I'm going to go with the underdog mentality this game. I'm going to pick Indianapolis to get the W.
I think I think the Rams do win this game. After watching what the Seahawks did to them, I'm way higher on the Rams, and I think the Rams do handle the job.
I think so, too. I think the Rams are a better team than the Colts, and it would just be so bittersweet if Matthew Stafford comes off a great debut and then loses to Indianapolis. Indianapolis is an okay team, but are they special? Are they great? I don't think so. The Rams are looking to be special this season. Their defensive line, we all know, is great. That offense is going to wreak havoc against that Colts secondary, because the Colts secondary is good, but it's not exceptional. So I think the Rams win this game on the road. Next game, Bills versus Dolphins.
The Bills disappointed me last week. I gambled on them. They lost. Yet I still trust in the fact that the Bills have a better quarterback. They have a better offense in general. Their defense it's still really good. So I think the Bills pull out this one in the division game. It's going to be close, though.
I actually think the Dolphins pull this one out. Being at home, I know the Bills are on the brink of going 0-2, and that's what I'm predicting. But I think that that's not going to be the end of their season. 0-2 is not a death sentence for teams. I just think the Dolphins right now played a solid game against the Patriots at Gillette Stadium. A pretty hostile environment, especially in division. I think just being at home, I think Tua is going to play a lesser defense in the Bills. I'm not that high in the Bills' defense personally. I think that Tua can have a decent game, and I think that they do enough to beat the Bills.
The Dolphins are lucky they won against the Patriots because Damian Harris cost the Patriots that game. The Bills will beat the Dolphins, and it's going to start a rolling ball effect of the Dolphins losing games and being out the playoffs. But the Bills will win this game. Let's just take it a game at a time. The Bills will win. Josh Allen is too good. Patriots versus Jets.
Oh, this is an easy one for me. I got Mac Jones and the Patriots.
I'm going to this game. I'm going to go live.
Oh, really?
Nice, bro. Don't you have season tickets?
Yeah.
You missed the last one, didn't you, because of work?
No, they were
Nah,
away.
I was away.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm not missing this game. I'll get fired before I miss this game.
Yeah, what?
I put about 2 weeks notice in already.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did.
Okay, yeah. No,
I'm not missing this
Patriots, easy W. They're just too much of a better team than you guys.
I think this is going to be a good game, but I do just because the rookie matchup, obviously, Zach's going to want to prove that he's the better player. Mac's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder too. But I do think the Patriots overall are a better team defense-wise. Offensively, it's kind of close because Corey Davis, in my opinion, is the best offensive weapon on the squad outside of the quarterbacks, obviously. But given all that, I just think that the Patriots are just more complete right now, and I think that they win this game.
Yeah, I think I'm going Pats. I don't even have to explain it. I just know they're better. Bengals versus Bears. Who wins that game?
I actually like this game. This Bears defense is solid. Cincinnati's offense is really good, but I feel like the Bears last week, they had a lot of miscommunication. Eddie Jackson was getting a lot of, talks in the media, but I think I'm going to roll with Cincinnati. I think they go 2-0 this week. They're coming off a good win against the Vikings, who are a much better team than Chicago. Joe Burrow has the confidence. Chase, Boyd, Higgins, they have the confidence. So I'm going to go with Cincinnati this week.
I think that Cincinnati does win this game. I think that David Montgomery is going to have a huge game, and he's going to impact, he's going to have a huge impact for the Bears offense, but I don't think it's going to be enough to overcome the Bengals. Obviously, the Bengals had a huge win against the Vikings. I look for that to continue. I think that Bears as a whole are just not a great team right now.
Question. How long do y'all think Andy Dalton has?
Apparently, a report just came out that they're not looking to change it until week 4.
Week 4.
This could be the Andy Dalton revenge game against the Bengals. I personally believe that he's going to get off to a rough start, and Justin Fields will come in this game.
You think this game would be the game?
I think it's that quick. Let me see where it's at. It's at Soldier Field. Yeah. They're going to be calling for Justin Fields. And I think the pressure is going to be too intense for Matt Nagy to leave Fields out the game. I think Fields comes in, and the Bears win the game with Fields leading the way.
That would be like some Baker Mayfield type.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Next game, Falcons versus Buccaneers.
Bucks.
I have the Bucks. Next game, Vikings versus Cardinals.
Oh, this is a good one, but I'm sticking to my guns. I got Arizona.
I'm gonna go Arizona too.
Oh, okay.
I think Arizona, from what they showed me against the Titans. Obviously, the Vikings do have a better defense than the Titans, but I think Kyler Murray is too good right now to be stopped by any defense that's even mediocre. And I think that the Cardinals prove something defensively. That defensive line is something to be scared of, so I'm going Cards.
The Vikings are very similar to Tennessee in the way they run the ball. They have great offensive weapons. They have a good but not great defense. The Titans have an awful defense. I think the Cardinals win because the Vikings offensive line is not going to be able to keep up with J.J. Watt or Chandler Jones. This is just a bad matchup from Minnesota. Titans versus Seahawks next game.
Considering the fact that how Russell Wilson and that offense completely just did it to the Colts, and they didn't do it. They just had a lot of big plays that the Colts couldn't keep up with. I think looking at the Titans, they're pretty much a worse defense. The secondary is relying on a rookie as their number one. I think Seattle, Russell Wilson, DK, and Tyler Lockett exposes that defense as it already is.
Yep.
And I think they come out with a W.
Seahawks are on a mission this season, and I do believe that they're going to continue doing that week 2. I feel like they're going to dominate them offensively. Titans might not have an answer like they didn't have an answer for the Cardinals. Seahawks defense is shown against the Colts that it's a pretty solid defense and one that should be feared pretty easily. I mean, you have Bobby Wagner, obviously Jamal Adams. solid players on that squad, but I do believe Seahawks do win this game easy.
Yeah, I'm picking Seattle too. I think they beat Tennessee, even though Tennessee could come out, with the chip on their shoulder after getting embarrassed and win this game. But I just trust in Seattle, and it's at Seattle, and that's always a tough place to play. Cowboys versus Chargers.
Ooh, this is another good one. Seeing as if Washington struggled to put any effect on Justin Herbert from a pass defense perspective, I don't think Dallas is going to do much better, considering the fact that they only have DeMarcus Lawrence, even though he did play well against Tampa Bay. I like the Chargers, but I think I'm going to go with Dallas this game. That offense, I feel like Tampa Bay's defense was just so much better, and that offense still looked good against them. So I like Cooper Lamb, and I like this offense against them.
I think this game is going to be like 50-45, something ridiculous. It's going to be a whole lot of offense. I'm exaggerating. Come on. It's going to be a very high-scoring game. Obviously, we saw that with the Buccaneers. The Cowboys could put up points against a really solid defense. I do believe that they are not going to have a problem scoring against the Chargers, but I don't think the Chargers are going to have a problem scoring against Dallas. At Chargers, this is one of the tougher games for me personally, but I'm going to go Chargers.
I'm going Chargers too. You guys said everything I was going to say. I think Justin Herbert comes out and has a fantastic performance. Sunday Night Football, Chiefs versus Ravens.
This is easy.
Is it?
It is.
Chiefs, right?
I'm going Chiefs.
Oh, okay.
Ravens, for some reason, Lamar, when he plays
Lamar hasn't
Patty.
beat
No,
Pat Mahomes yet.
Can't.
Lions versus Packers, Monday Night Football.
Packers get a dub.
Packers.
Yeah, Packers too. So that's going to do it for NFL Pick'em Week 2. Put your predictions down in the comment section below. Let us know what teams you're picking this week.